Okay, so good times with the diesel Land Cruiser Prado today. As you can see, I pulled the head and found it to be cracked. I don't know if you can see that. There's a crack right there on cylinder 3. Basically, I had a, yes, that is a washing machine. Basically, I had a very rough idle on first startup, and it was white smoking a decent amount. And I found my coolant to be a little low. So what I did was I pulled the glow plugs out of the head, and then I pressurized the cooling system, and then I found coolant coming out of the glow plug hole on cylinder 3. So I knew it was either a head gasket or a cracked head. These do have a common issue with cracking heads, so unfortunately that's what we have. But we ordered a new one, and I think it just got here. Alright, parts are here. So, I risked it and went with just a random eBay complete cylinder head. And it looks pretty good, but I guess we'll find out. It was about 800 bucks. And but I did go with Toyota OEM head gasket set, head bolts. So I don't really want to fool around with the gasket. I did end up getting a 3-hole. So there's a, see that? This is a 3-hole. So from the factory it could come with a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5-hole. It's basically the different thickness. And for replacements you only have the option of 1, 3, or 5. And what they want you to do is check the piston protrusion from the block. And I just looked it up online, but basically you measure how high the piston sticks out of the block, and that will dictate what head gasket you need to order. So mine actually had a 4-hole that I took off of it, but after measuring the piston protrusion it was within the parameters of the 3-hole option, so that's what I went with. Yep. Alright, well, I'm about to start swapping everything onto this new head and get her cranked on there. I'm gonna prime that a little more. I'm hoping I don't need to crack those lines to let the air out. There might be air in the lines, and I might have to crack those lines, but a little easier said than done. Probably should have cranked it while the intercooler was off and bled those lines.
Probably. If anything, we can crack the lines on the fuel pump while you crank it and let the diesel come out, because that's usually what I have to do with my truck.
Yeah.
Not saying it would be the best for this one, but...
Alright, so it is the next morning, and as you can see, Land Cruiser is outside, and the eBay head is fully installed. So, first startup was a little choppy, but that is kind of to be expected. I've installed some new cylinder heads or used cylinder heads in the past, and usually it takes, you know, a good bit of idling or maybe even a drive down the road to kind of clear them up and you know, get oil pressure in the lifters and let everything kind of break in a little bit, put a few heat cycles through it. I did just take it around a little 3-mile test drive, and it did great. At first it was a little noisy, and it was blowing a little bit of that coolant out of the exhaust, but I mean, now it sounds really good. It's running really smooth. There's no white smoke. Before, if I shut it off and let it sit for 5 or 10 minutes and started back up, a ton of white smoke would pour out. So give it a little. So as you can see, no white smoke anymore. Good sign. I don't have a muffler on this, by the way, so it is a little louder than normal. But runs smooth. So, cheap eBay head takes the win in my book, at least for the first 3 miles of driving. If I ever have any issues out of it, I'll make another video going into that. But as for now, I think she's running strong. Thanks everyone for watching. I appreciate it.